Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is Gateway's Got It. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. And 3, schedule your delivery. On top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. I can attest to this one. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And this episode of The Mom Game is also proudly brought to you by the McCoy team at Affiliated Bank Mortgage. The world around us is crazy and unsettled right now for all of us. So whether you're wanting to stay put in your current home or wanting a change of pace, the McCoy team is here to help. Getting pre-qualified before you are ready to sell and or purchase is always the first step in the process. Interest rates are at an all-time low, which means now is the perfect time to buy or refinance. There are a lot of mortgage companies that will sift you through their automated processes, but that's not how the McCoy team operates. When you call, email, or text Mike or his team, you'll get an actual human on the other end, answering your questions and setting you up with honest guidance. I know because I live with the man and he is constantly on his phone. Mike and his team operate in full disclosure, much like me, and will get you prepared for any purchase or refinance. Here's the deal, though. He is not going to get you in over your skis. If you can't afford a new purchase or refi, he is absolutely not going to recommend it. I know it may sound cheesy, and I know I'm biased, but my dude will take care of you. So will his team. This is their thing, and they take great pride in it, and I am proud of them for that. So give him a holler, 817-987-2200, or schedule a free no-obligation consultation at McCoyTeamMortgage.com. FDIC insured, NMLS number 402132, equal housing lender. Give him a call, y'all. And we welcome you into the 54th episode of The Mom Game. I'm Emily Jones. Julie Dobbs is in studio.
Hello.
We are not together. We're not together. It's a sad thing.
It's sad. I'm sitting here all alone with balloons, Emily. I've never seen anything sadder.
Because we're celebrating. Because
we
you know
are.
What happened that we totally didn't realize?
In true mom fashion.
True mom fashion. We forgot someone's birthday. And it's ours.
It's ours. We
forgot our birthday.
As a podcast are 1 year old. Yay. Play the applause. Play the music.
Confetti.
There's no applause.
There's not. I did bring, I got my 14K wine.
Ditto.
Bubbly rosé here to celebrate.
Ditto. I think this will last me about a few minutes.
10 minutes or so.
Which is fine. But no, it has. It's been an entire year that we've been doing this podcast, which I feel like is so exciting. I think it's a big milestone for any podcast, because when you get something like this going, you have no idea how it's going to go. And it could easily just like fizzle out after 10 episodes, you know?
Well, and especially because we've been doing it once a week.
We've been doing it once a week. We've barely missed any time. And it's been fun. It's great that like we are flexible. You know, you're shooting from home today because you don't want to miss Henry's baseball game. And that's like the essence of our show. It's like, let's make it all work.
Let's prepare everyone for a little bit of what's going to happen probably in the next 6 months. Because here we are. It's this time. It's baseball season.
You got your baby blue on.
Yes. So we're going to have to be very fluid, because what happens is when you get off work is when I go to work.
Yeah.
And so us trying to find these times to shoot together, we're going to try to find them as much as we can. But there are going to be times where it just isn't feasible. Mm-hmm. And so like, for example, tonight, Henry's schedule got switched around, his baseball schedule. This is his first game of the year. And I don't miss any games that I can make. If I'm not working, I will. Yeah. I say no to everything else. And so it was important for me to be at his game tonight. And so this is going to enable me to be at his game. And I'm super excited.
Totally worth it. It's fine. You know, that's like our whole show is about how to arrange your life to make everything work. So
yes. And it's so funny because as we're taping this on Monday, the 29th of March, we got the news that Rougned Odor is not going to be a Texas Ranger.
We did.
And so this ties in with the Henry baseball story. So when I got off the Zoom calls today with the team and Henry came into the office and I said, I've got some bad news. And he said, you're not going to be able to make it to my game.
Aww.
And I said, no, honey, that's not the bad news.
Aww.
I said, but Rougned Odor Rugy's not making the team. And he was sad. But I said that, hopefully this will be a good thing for Rugy. He'll go find somewhere else where he can get playing time and maybe he can kind of resurrect his career and all that kind of stuff. So,
was he a big fan of him?
He was not as close as he was to Elvis. So he was super, super close to Elvis. So it didn't hit him as hard as it did with Elvis, but it did take a toll on him. But he was being selfish today. He was taking first priority. He's like, as long as you can make it to my game.
Well, that just tells you like how much it means to him that you're there at the game and how much it means to these kids that we are able to figure it out to where we can be there when we can. We're not going to be there all the time. But like you said, if you have the opportunity.
Right? Like, well, yes, if we can be there, we'll be there. And if mom's not there, somebody's going to be there. Don't worry. Somebody's going to be there. If not a multitude of people.
Yeah.
And we've got grandparents and all kinds of people that turn out for our kids' games. So,
yeah. But anyway, if you can, you should. So I'm glad that you can do that.
This won't happen. Yeah. And hopefully this won't happen too often, but you know, it's going to happen. And thankfully for our friends at Vocal and our sweet Jay, producing our show, we're able to do this.
Yeah. The main thing is that we're here and we're talking to each other. Right. So we are, the show must go on. So you mentioned Rugy. So what was your take on that? We can do a little bit of Rangers talk because opening day is this Thursday on the road in Kansas City, which feels weird. I feel like they usually start at home. But the big news of the week and today, and I was excited to be able to talk to you like probably before anybody else got your thoughts, but Rougned Odor not making the team this year, which maybe the writing has been on the wall for a while. That has been an ongoing storyline is, I guess, his decline. But were you surprised by this? What do you think of that?
I think it started creeping in a few days ago that this could be a possibility. I think a lot of people just looked at the sheer number on the contract. I mean, you're talking about $27 million and just thinking that, you know, no one's going to, you know, first of all, you're not going to be able to find a trade partner for that kind of money without eating a ton of salary. You know, you just wondered if they were just going to hold on to him to see if they could get anything out of that money that's remaining. Mm-hmm. And I think that they just ultimately decided that it's time for them to move forward. It's time to see what they have, young guys. It's time to see who they have as a viable piece moving forward. And that they felt like that was kind of stunting him. Remaining on this roster was going to stunt that growth.
So is Solak the biggest one at this point that like get something out of this situation now? He's going to become the everyday guy, you think, in his position, or what do you think they're going to do there?
What did you just ask me? Because Henry just
is Solak going to benefit from this a lot?
wait, time out. We're getting ready for the baseball game.
That's okay. We're talking baseball.
Shorts? Are they in your locker? I think I may have put them up there. If not, they're in your underwear drawer upstairs. I'm sorry. He's got to have a cup now. We're at the age where you got to wear cups.
And he's got a locker?
So he's got to have, we have little lockers in our garage.
Cute.
And so all of his baseball stuff is in his locker.
Oh my gosh.
And so.
That's so cute.
So the shorts, you know, they have the cup that tucks in. They have a hole for the cup.
When do they start wearing a cup?
Oh, this started a few years ago. It's soon. Once they get off the tee, they've got to wear the cup.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, yeah. So that's a whole other issue trying to get that thing installed.
I know. I feel like there's so much there.
So yeah. Anyways,
I don't know. I was just talking. Anyway,
so
I was just talking baseball.
Yes, we'll play second. Sorry.
I was just trying my best.
So Nick's, you're like, so what do you think about Solak at second?
Like who's going to be the one that's like, heck yes, I finally get my shot, right?
Well, so Nick Solak was already going to be the everyday second baseman. They had basically said this.
Okay.
From the beginning of spring training. Mm-hmm. So they had moved Rugy to third.
And
he actually played well defensively
confused.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And so now what's going to happen probably is Brock Holt and Culberson. Gosh, is it Charlie Culberson?
Yeah, I think so.
I've not met the man yet. But those two will platoon, I think. But there's still one roster spot left to be determined. But Culberson is for sure on the team, as is Brock Holt. So that would be the logical kind of tandem to take over at third base.
Gotcha. I feel like Brock Holt becoming perhaps an everyday third baseman shows the changing of the guard when it comes to players' names in the league. Like, that's the new generation of players' names. Like, all of these young kids, like Brock, like next is going to be a writer in major leagues.
Been around for a while.
Yeah.
Brock Holt's been around for a while.
But that
he was
name,
with the Red Sox for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, he was with the Red Sox. So he's not like a spring chicken.
How old is he?
So he's not one of the 20.
But he's young.
9. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he's not like, 24.
Right.
He may be 30-ish then. He's a local kid and he's super, super good dude. I've got to stop messing with my hair. I hate seeing myself on this thing. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What about Brock Holt and baseball?
Nothing. I was more talking about his name and how I feel like Brock is a new age name. That's all.
We've got we've got a guy, a prospect. His name is Steele Walker.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that one, that's a head turner.
Steele.
Steele Walker. All of these kids. Walker. There's going to be a Caden and a Braden with a Y. Like, they're all going to be in the major leagues now. No more Michael Young, Yeah. Just no more Ians.
Boring old names
like that. Okay, well, that was some big, I think, kind of sort of shocking Rangers news. I mean, I guess that they wouldn't be doing the yo-yo back and forth thing with him, at least, into the season. Like, they're just cutting things off and they're going to go with it. And it's, like you said, the whole new age kind of vibe. Yeah. Elvis is gone. Rugi's gone. We don't know a lot of these guys at this point.
It's a turning of the page, no doubt. And you look at the names that keep coming up as to who you can build your franchise around, and it's Joey Gallo and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And so, but the thing is you can't ask Chris Woodward and Chris Young about this, and John Daniels about this today. You can't just anoint those guys and be like, okay, guys, here you go. This is your team. You're the leaders. You're doing all that. You know what I mean? Because what I've learned in 20 years of covering sports is if you're not performing, people are not going to follow you. I mean, it's very rare that you have the player that can buck that trend, that can hit, 200 and, or whatever, have a 6 ERA and still be looked at as the guy in the clubhouse or one of the guys. And so what's going to happen is those guys are going to have to produce. And if it's not them, this is a wide open thing to where someone can emerge who you may not even think about in that role at this point in time that could totally step into it.
Yeah. I'm hopeful the Rangers, I'm just always one of those optimistic people. I'm not going to say like, oh, they're going to be terrible. No one knows who these people are and they don't have anybody and they didn't do anything last year. I'm always thinking, well, what if these guys really prove something? What if they catch lightning in a bottle and they have like that young, IDGAF, is that what the kids say? IDGAF mentality where they're just going out there having fun playing baseball. We'll see what happens, right?
And I think that's what I love about sports in general. That's what I mean. And listen, I've covered some really, really shitty baseball over the years, and I've covered some really, really good baseball over the years. But the great thing about sports is that every day is a new game. Every season is a new season. And so, everyone has an opportunity at this point in time. And so let's just see how things play out. Do I think they have the best odds to go to the World Series? No. Do I think that they have the capability to be a playoff contender? I don't know. I mean, on paper, you wouldn't think so. They've got a lot of unproven commodities. They've got a lot of guys who have yet to, really cut their teeth in the big leagues. But the bottom line is that's why they play the games. I mean, there's always surprises every year. So why couldn't it be this team, you know? And who knows? You have to, if you stay healthy and people play up to potential or even above their potential or above expectations, you just never know. And so, I get the pundits and the, the expectations and the odds makers and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, I'm just going to go into it and enjoy every day of covering a baseball game, covering a team that I care about and an organization that I love, and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be interesting storylines, regardless of wins or losses. There's always going to be
I think it's fun with brand new players. You're learning all about them. You're learning their stories and you're learning their tendencies and you're seeing them come around as a professional athlete. I think that's fun. 2 exhibition games leading up to it. And I heard they're sold out. Is that going to be a full house just for the exhibition games?
I think people are dying to get into that stadium and take a look at it.
Too.
And so, yeah, we'll see. I'm not working the Monday game, obviously. I'm here with you, but I am working the Tuesday afternoon game. So we'll see what that looks like. And then, once opening day rolls around on Monday, I mean, I would assume it's going to be a packed
I bet
house.
people are so ready. I don't think anyone cares about if the team's going to be good or not. They want to go to that stadium. They want to get out of their house. The weather is lovely, to have the roof open or whatever. Okay. So for the road games, you're in studio now.
So
like on opening day.
No, the first 3 exhibition games we did from the studio because we didn't have the truck set up at the ballpark yet. So the truck gets set up at the ballpark is being set up as we speak. So starting Tuesday, the last exhibition game, I will be at the ballpark for road games.
Okay, in the truck at the ballpark.
And also for home games. No, I'll still be in my post. Or I'll still be upstairs in the press box.
Oh, okay.
I'll be in the press box. And then I'm assuming, fingers crossed, that for home games I'll be back in my well.
Yeah. Okay, good. That would be so huge for you. And you get to interact with fans now instead of cardboard, hopefully. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have to wear a mask during the games? Is that something else you don't know yet? Yeah.
I don't know.
You would think.
I don't know.
Hopefully not. But who knows?
Who knows? Whatever.
You're like, I'll do whatever they tell me.
Whatever. Again, hazmat suit, whatever.
Whatever it takes. Okay. So we have Rangers baseball starting. So the mom game is the way it looks might change a little bit, but we're still going to be bringing you the mom game every week.
Yes.
And I am so proud of everything that we've been able to do in the last year. I wanted to give a shout out quickly to some of our sponsors who have helped us because honestly, like they make the thing go around. We need them in order to keeping on, if you will. And I might be forgetting somebody here, but Cowden Cosmetic Dentistry was our very first official sponsor of the mom game. And they were wonderful to us. They cleaned our teeth some and gave you some teeth whitening services. I might be going back to see them for some veneers down the road. So a big thank you to them for kind of getting us going out of the gates. We recently had on the Happiest Hour. They sponsored our Super Bowl show, which was so much fun. Noble Vines, another sponsor here again today. So we'll talk more about them here in a little bit. But Noble Vines has been great. They're a friend of mine on the ticket as well. We obviously like to talk and drink wine on this show. So I feel like that's been a perfect fit for us. They also give back to the community, which I love because that's something that I know is important to both of us. And who knows, down the road, hopefully we can be doing a little bit more of that as well, just here on the show. Baylor, Scott & White, they've been awesome. They've signed on for a big package with us. And I have obviously a connection with them just because they're the company that helped treat me when I underwent breast cancer and all of those procedures. And they're awesome. I love helping spread the word about what they're doing and just how important it is for people to get screened for all of those things. So thank you, Baylor, Scott & White. And then if you want to talk a little bit about Gateway Buick GMC, because wow, like we're so thankful for them and kind of helping us get going here on the second half of the show as well.
So Cutting Edge Cryo is another one that I want to mention that has, kind of like opened our eyes to some of these mom services that we weren't even really sure we needed, but definitely do. And I think we're going to be doing some big things with them coming up in the new year. They've got a bunch of new equipment and new cutting edge technology that I think we're going to get to do some fun things with them. And then, of course, Gateway Buick GMC, who has been so gracious as to support me in literally every endeavor I feel like I've ever done. I've been their spokesperson for the last 4 years probably. And Charles and Jaffa have just been so kind to help. They support the Do It for Durrett Foundation. They support the mom game. They support my Scout and Cellar wine business.
So amazing.
They literally, they just support everything. And I'm truly, truly grateful for their support and just their kindness. They're just good, kind people wanting to help because they believe in the stuff that we do and the things that we're talking about. And all that kind of stuff. So I'm so grateful to them.
Yeah.
And then of course my husband, I'm so grateful
Yes.
for Mike, for taking a chance and coming on board. Call him to do a refinance. Our social media guy, Adam Hernandez, who we also need to thank.
Yes.
Adam just texted me today and is like, all right, it's time. I got to refinance. Give me Mike's number.
Good.
But yes, and a huge shout out to Adam Hernandez, who has completely upped our social media game.
Yeah.
And without him, we would be completely and totally and utterly lost.
Completely.
He's a good Red Raider. He's a wonderful human being.
Yeah, because it's not just getting.
You got him in the Stars suite the
I
other
did.
night.
Yeah, I did.
So
I think they
awesome.
had fun. He looked like
And
he and his
deserves
wife.
so
and-
much more.
Yeah, he really does. We're working on it.
amazing.
But yeah, because it's not just the social media stuff, like it's the branding too. He's created those
Yeah.
really cool graphics for us, and he'll just pop in every time I get a text from him. I'm like, woohoo! It's like my birthday. So yeah, he's been amazing. Mike McCoy, thank you for signing on as well. If you haven't called him yet, please do because
we're just so grateful to everyone.
You don't
who's
realize,
taking-
too,
who's
like-
taking a chance on
Exactly,
us. You know? They don't know
exactly.
if it's going to work. We haven't been around that long.
yes, and also
We
my
feel
med
like we
spa.
try to do. Oh yes,
My med
Yes,
spa
of
had us
course,
out
we
for
love
our
her.
first and only remote so far to this point. We went out there and did a show. They have a beautiful location. Nicole Ledbetter, the owner there, she had some ties with the Stars as well. So that's how I knew her. But yeah, all of these wonderful businesses, we just can't thank you enough. If you are listening and maybe you have a business or you're interested in coming on board, what we love is that we can really kind of craft whatever it is that you're looking for, however you want to get your message out. We're so flexible and we like having fun with it and really building that connection with you, not just sitting up here and reading copy.
And yeah, and now especially when budgets are tight, like this is a great venue. It's a great avenue to get your word out organically and to a pretty targeted market. As far as we have a pretty not target. Well, it's kind of targeted, but it's also pretty wide reaching.
It is.
We have men listening, we have women listening. But if you want to craft something to target one of our specific demographics, we can do that. So yeah, we want bring us more sponsors.
More sponsors, all the sponsors.
The more
Also-
the merrier.
Yes.
The more the merrier.
And we also, since we're celebrating 1 year, have to celebrate and thank some of the fun guests that we've had. Haven't we had fun on here with our guests? Like
We've had so much fun.
starting off like so strong with Adrian Beltre early on when he came on. That was so much fun. I loved
He
seeing
got all
him
weird
with his
when I tried to ask
family.
him about his daughter.
Yes, asked
when
him about
Cassidy,
his
his daughter, was going
daughter.
to start dating, and he got super pissed.
Yes, I know. It was so funny. But that's exactly what we wanted to do with this show is like show people, athletes, kind of out of their element and talking about what it's like being a dad and being a husband. So that was so fun because you only, I feel like, saw this. You were somebody that helped people see another side of Adrian Beltre, but for the most part, it was just Adrian Beltre on the baseball field. So that was great. Mike Leach was awesome. Another guy that you know and that you were
a bike
riding his
the entire
bike.
time, like like only Mike just riding a bike and like got a flat tire and
Yes. So fun.
ridiculousness,
He even
yeah.
humored me and talked Pirates for a little bit. I was like, oh God, is he just going to be like, who is this person wanting to ask me about Pirates? But he was awesome. We had Tyler Sagan on and his precious girlfriend, Kate.
that was fun.
Yeah, I think we need to have them back on because Tyler's rehabbing from injury and I think maybe he could kill some time with us. But he was so much fun. We recently had on Mike Madonna. Which is just
Mo
so
was
cool.
hilarious.
Mo, I mean, he was so laid back and cool. We've had all of our friends from The Ticket, Mike Soroy, Jake Kemp, Donovan Lewis, I think was our first one that joined us. And he's even said, he's like, I want to come back on. Because we had him on and that's when all of this stuff was going on. Like where we were talking about like the racial injustice and all that.
Serious
And
stuff,
he's like, I want to come on and have some fun with y'all and laugh. He's like, you have George on, talks about farts,
You're asking me about social justice. Come on, give me a break. Yeah.
exactly. Mike Reiner, who came on very early on the show, and now he has his own show here at Vocal. And then we've tried to have like a variety of other types of guests too, with our parenting expert, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I want to get some more of that type of thing on the show in the future. So
We should say hi to one of our sponsors right now. He just walked in the door.
Oh, he
Just
did?
peek
Is
your
this-
head in, honey, and just say hi.
is this Mike McCoy of the McCoy team? Is this Mike McCoy of the McCoy team? The one and only?
is.
Wow.
He's going to get ready to coach some kid pitch baseball.
Does he coach?
He assists.
Okay.
He helps.
Okay. Well, then let's do a little kid baseball and kid sports talk, because I know you have a couple of stories.
Great segue. We can talk about how one of our sponsors got kicked out of a 7-year-old soccer game.
I need to hear this. I really need to hear this.
Let me just say, though, it was the most unjustified ejection I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, okay. So you're already siding with him.
Julie, no,
You're already
I'm
making,
totally siding
You're already
with him.
making excuses.
Okay, this ref, and it's 7-year-old girls soccer. They moved to a bigger field. Like, there's a lot of rules interpretations they haven't quite grasped yet. And this guy is so serious about the rules that, like, if the ball rolls out, parents aren't allowed to touch the ball and give it to someone else or put it where it's supposed to be, because that's against the rules, Julie.
Oh, okay.
And so one of our coaches was like, had a toe on the line on the field, and he like got in his face, and he's like, can we just focus on the girls? Like, this is having no impact on the game. And he's super calm. Our coach, the head coach of Hattie's team, is like an ex-Army Ranger, like been through like some shit.
Yeah.
And, and now he's trying to get thrown, like going to get ejected from a 7-year-old soccer game. So he gets kicked out. So the coach gets kicked out.
Oh my God. Where does he go? Like to his car and just sit there?
Literally went outside the fence and watched through the fence.
Oh my gosh.
So then Mike just said, ref, let's just keep the focus on the field and on the girls, because he's stopping down the game to like address things. And so all Mike said was, let's keep the focus on the field. And so he looked at Mike and said immediately, you want to get kicked out too? And Mike was like,
oh boy, you want to get kicked out too?
Oh, he went straight for it. No, nothing.
He thinks he's like an NBA ref talking
I forgot to say,
Pop over there.
Our coach actually, he pulled out the red card on him. Like he had a red card on our coach. So he showed him that and then kicked him out.
Oh my God.
Mike didn't get a red card, I don't think. I don't know if fans can get red cards. But anyway, so then Mike said, okay, let's just keep the focus on the field. That's all he said. And then the guy's like, you're out.
Oh my gosh.
So Mike just.
Old boy's on a power trip over there, it sounds like.
Dude, like the ultimate power trip. And then he said, this game will be canceled if you do not leave the field immediately.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Was Mike
so,
like,
I mean,
was he
it happened in
pissed?
a matter of 30 seconds. And Mike was like, I'm not going to let Coach Soup just, hang by himself. I'm just being a good soldier, going to go along with him.
You're going to go have some beers.
But it was insane. Like, listen, I get it. You can't be that parent that's yelling and complaining all the time and all that. I'm not a fan of that. I understand parents have, gripes and whatever. It's 7-year-old soccer. These people are, not being compensated very well to officiate these games or whatever. But when you get on a power trip like that, it's not, he stopped the game down 3 or 4 times. And it's just, it's taken away from the girls. It's taken away from the kids. It's like, what are we really trying to do here? So it was a case of a dude.
Like someone needs to write a letter to the manager.
Now, should Mike have probably just stopped after the first, let's keep our focus on the field? Maybe that should have been the end of the discussion, but
It was funny because we talked with Mike Madonna about like kids and dealing with failure and what he says to his kids. And then this past Saturday, the Stars played Saturday and Sunday. So it was mom everything duty all weekend. And I took him to his soccer game. At one point, they called the game off for a second because Anna ran on with his water and tried to give Ryder water. Just ran into the middle of the field.
Stop it.
So that was cute. But yes, she broke the rules. I'm glad that your mean referee wasn't there. He would not have liked that.
She would have gotten a red card.
She would have gotten a red card. She would have been sent to timeout forever. But Ryder did so his sweet little team, they're still learning. And I feel like you hit a certain point. So he's 5. So at the boys at this age, it's like some of them are really figuring it out. And some of them are still just out there like just for fun. Let's kill some time on a Saturday, And this team that we played, they had 2 or 3 that were really good little boys. And they could just break away and run down the field and score pretty easily. Ryder started playing defense because we talked to him a lot about, just 2-way game and playing defense and all of this. And so he's gotten really into it. So the coach, we hired a coach, by the way, because I surrendered the title, Kelly and I, because we are not capable of it and not very available either. So we hired a coach, this cute little high school soccer player, and she's great. So she had him staying back and playing defense. And then all of a sudden it was like boom, boom, boom. He had been doing really well. They scored 3 goals on a row in a row on him. Like at one point he was kind of looking up at like a butterfly or something and they scored. So he just ran off the field crying after they scored 3 times. And he just said, Mom, I'm just so tired of losing. He said, I'm just so tired of getting scored on, and they're so much stronger than me, and they're so much stronger than our team. And it was like that moment that we had even talked about with Mike Madonna, where it's like, how do you explain to kids that you're not going to win every game and keep them into it, and keep them wanting to come back and play when you're just getting killed. It's hard. And I'm just at the very beginning of it all. And I know it's not going to get any better because people start getting hardcore. These kids start probably figuring out what one sport they want to play instead of trying to play 4 or 5 sports. And then they get good and specialized at that one sport. But I feel like Ryder's good enough. Like he's not just aloof, not really caring or trying. He's trying and he's decent at it, but it was like a hard parenting moment for me, and I finally got him back out on the field and he did well the rest of the game. And we just talked about practicing. I'm like, okay, now instead of like wanting to play iPad when you get home from school, let's go out. I promise I will practice with you. Cause it's just like being challenged, as he's got the ball and trying and getting around people and all of that he needs help with. So we'll see how it goes. But in that moment, I was just thinking, what do I say?
Yeah,
it's one of those, what do I say moments as a mom?
Right.
They spring up on you and you're not prepared.
Yes. And there's so many different levels of competitiveness. Like Henry is on that. Like Hattie doesn't like to lose. She is not a fan of it, but she's not like, doesn't get domed out for an entire day if she loses a game that morning.
Yeah.
Henry is just, it just consumes him. And it's not even just sports. He did the math bee the other day at school, and he went out in the first round and he was devastated.
Aww.
To the point where it was like, I don't want you to be embarrassed of me. That's so embarrassing. I'm like, I'm not embarrassed of you. Are you kidding me? I was like, the only things I care about.
That's so sweet that he said that, and also sad. Yeah.
I know. But I said, you know what I care about? I was like, I don't give an S about your grades. I didn't say S. I just said, I don't care. I don't even care about your grades. I don't care about how many games you win. I don't care about any of that stuff. You know what I'm worried about is you being a kind and respectful child. Mm-hmm. That is it. Mm-hmm. For you to be a kind individual. If you want to make me proud, you do your best. You try your hardest in all these sports and all the school and all the stuff. Try your hardest. That's all I ask of you there. The results will come. Try your hardest. But outside of that, all I'm looking for is for you to be a legit, kind human being.
Yeah.
I want you to be kind and I want you to be respectful.
Yeah.
We say every day on their way to school, I take the kids to school 2 or 3 days a week. And there's 4 of the kids in school, 2 of our close friends. There's 4 of the kids in the car. And we roll down the window, or we turn on the street to go to the school. And I say, seatbelts off, backpacks on, and then now masks on. And I'm like, what are we trying to be today? Kind, grateful, respectful, brave. Kind, grateful, respectful,
I'm meaning
brave.
to write that down so I can steal it.
If you can be kind, grateful, respectful, and brave, everything else is going to take care of itself. Everything else. I feel like everything falls in one of those buckets, to where if you can identify if something is what I'm doing kind, is what I'm doing respectful, is it brave?
Yep.
Is it grateful?
Yep.
Is it one of those things? If it is, get after it.
Those are some of the hardest things to teach
Let's
kids.
avoid it. It is.
Yeah. And that reminds me of one other guest we didn't give a shout out to is Lance. Lance.
Of course.
We got to give a shout out to Lance,
the official spiritual advisor of the Mom Game.
The official spiritual advisor of the Mom Game. And I think our only repeat offender.
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing, because I know we've got to run. But one other story, speaking of kind, grateful, respectful, brave, does not mean my children practice it all the time, because little Henry the other day, I don't know, they wanted to keep playing. And I finally was like, it's just too much. We're going to stop. And so he threw a basketball like up against the wall outside. And I completely, when I say I lost my shit, I completely lost my shit. Oh. Yelled, like, I'm sure the whole neighborhood heard me. Usually I try to like keep it inside.
I know. I hate when neighbors catch you in a moment.
So I was like,
to us the other day.
You do not throw that again. That is so disrespectful. I can't even believe you would disrespect me like that out in the open. Like,
oh my God. Do it behind closed doors if you're going to do it.
Exactly. So we go in the house, and then dust settles, we eat dinner or something. And then like afterward, I always try to, when I lose it like that, I always try to like have a thoughtful conversation. Like, listen, mommy should not have reacted that way. But do you understand why I reacted that way? I said, Henry, I had asked you guys 4 times in my calm mommy voice. Hey, it's time. Hey, it's time. It's still time. Past time. Let's wrap this up. It's time to go in. And I said, and you know when you listened to me? When I yelled at you.
Right.
And he goes, then why didn't you just do that the first time?
They're so literal sometimes. It's like, no, you don't get it.
I go, why didn't I yell at you? And he goes, yeah, I mean, if that's what works, why do you not just do it the first time?
This is on you, dude. You just listened the first time. That sounds like something Ryder would say.
I'm trying not to be the yelling mom. I'm trying to be the chill, just listen to me and this will all work out mom. And he was like, okay, I guess so. But, and I was like, oh Lord.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me of my quick story because I have to complain for just a hot second about ice cream trucks. Emily, I used to love ice cream trucks. Like obviously as a kid and even as a mom, it was like, oh, this is so exciting because they were very rare. Like when you heard the ice cream truck, it was like, throw everything down, stop what you're doing, run down the street, see if you can catch it. But ice cream trucks, at least where we frequent, where we live, in the park that we go to often, they are coming around all the time now. And they're like super sneaky and super smart. We were at a egg hunt over the weekend down in Preston Hollow Park. And after a long day where my kids had like all the sweets, they had cupcakes at a birthday party. And then we went to the egg hunt and they had a bunch of candy. And I'm finally thinking, okay, I'm about to get them back home and I'm going to get them wound down. That damn ice cream truck rolls up at the very worst moment. And then the other kids run and get the ice cream. And I just told myself, this is the time where I'm going to say no because they've had so much crap. They didn't eat a good lunch. I need to get them home. They're going to go crazy. The ice cream's so effing messy. It goes everywhere. It just creates so many problems. They can never eat it fast enough because it's warm outside, or it falls off of the stick. It's always a disaster. And so I tried so hard to say no. And Ryder, who's my difficult one, actually was like, after battling me for a minute, was like, okay, fine. But Anna, she didn't give up. And she was just begging the ice cream man for like 10 minutes until finally he's like, I'll give it to you for free. Do you not have your money? Oh. I was like, no, I have money. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with it today. I usually do this, but today I am not feeling it. Finally, I caved because we always effing do, right? I'm like sitting there alone. I've got to get her away from this stranger at the ice cream truck while Ryder's over here. So I buy them each damn Sonic the Hedgehog ice cream things on the stick. And then of course, what happens? They get all over the place. The blue, like literally, I don't know what is in that blue dye, but it stained their skin, I mean, even after the bath that night, it did not come out.
I mean,
it was such an effing disaster.
Like synthetic materials in those ice cream trucks.
I know.
Something's not right.
I'm like, I've hit that point where like, and I see what you're saying because we've not argued, but we've talked about holidays and how Halloween and how you don't like it. And I was trying to stand up for it. I feel like this is one of those turning points where I was used to stand up for the ice cream truck because I wanted like the fun. And now I see that damn ice cream truck and I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
Like, no, don't ruin my
double
day. The double bird, but you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
so that was
it's like
that was my rant.
Dogs hearing something. It's like they can hear it. I mean, they can't hear you from 2 feet away, but they can hear that effing ice cream truck from 2 miles away.
And then one person,
it's like so annoying.
One person gets the ice cream. You don't want to be the evil mom that says no.
Right. But it's like that same, they play that creepy, like berate or some weird songs.
Do, 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 do. Yeah.
Yes,
that's it. And then it's like $3 a pop. That's for the cheap one. Yeah. You can get like the lemon chill for $6. I'm like, I don't even pay that much for a drink half the time. That includes booze. This is all a bunch of crap. But every time I fall for it and we deal with it. Just another hashtag mom problem is ice cream trucks. And it's going to be a real hot summer for the ice cream trucks. I can already feel it because those boys have been in like hibernation for COVID and they're all coming out. They're going to infiltrate our lives. Okay, that's my rant. And rant.
Okay.
Rant.
I feel like we solved some problems there.
I don't know, but I feel better. A little bit better at least. Okay, so
grab your wine.
1 year.
Cheers.
1 year in.
To 1 year and then some, a little bit of something.
1 year and then some because that's how moms roll. Speaking of wine, I have to give our quick shout out to Noble Vines because this show is going to air the week of Easter. So Easter celebrations are coming around. And I feel like people are starting to celebrate a little bit more, maybe gathering a little bit more with, their small groups with their family, inside, outside, going to church, whatever it is. And then after church, you come home and you usually have a nice hot dinner. So the point of all of that is to go get yourself some Noble Vines wine for this Easter holiday. Like we've talked about, Noble Vines wine aims to bring out the best in wine and in people. Their vine stocks originate from highly coveted vineyards in France, which is so fancy. Selecting the best of those vine stocks and cultivating them in California has earned Noble Vines their quality reputation. Noble Vines 337 Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a favorite in our house. Kelly loves that one with its rich, full-bodied style, aromas of cherry and blackberry and suave tannins invites you to pay it forward. And this is why. This is something really cool that they are doing that I'm happy to help spread the word about. They're a proud supporter of Operation Rebound. Operation Rebound's mission is to strengthen the mental and physical well-being of veterans, military, and first responders with permanent physical injuries by providing them opportunities to use sports and fitness to reintegrate into our communities and empowering them through sports. For more information, go to www.challengedathletes.org. Must be 21 or over. Noble Vines, Napa and Manteca, California. Please drink responsibly, Emily. Remember that.
We should always drink responsibly.
Always drink responsibly.
Responsibility.
Yes, exactly.
Or responsibility. Or responsibly, not responsibility.
You're not drinking responsibly over there. I can tell.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay.
All
Cheers
right.
to 1
Cheers.
year.
We made it.
Cheers.
We made it 1 year.
We made it
How many
virtually
more do we have
there
in the tank? I don't know.
we
We'll
go.
find out.
Stay tuned to find out.
Stay tuned to find out.
Yeah, we appreciate all of our sponsors who have gotten us here, all the people at Vocal who have gotten us here, sweet Jay, who's had to listen to just about every one of our shows. God love him. And all of our family at Vocal. So here's to at least another year.
At least another year. We know that much is true. All right. Ready for a big old mom game out?
See you soon. Yeah, hope to see you soon.
See you soon.
Peace out, everybody.
Mom game out.
Mom game out.